Hello everyone and welcome back to English Conversation 616 for humans who talk to humans. This is chapter 2. So in this chapter, we're going to learn what's your superpower. Now, we're going to be using pop culture references like Marvel, DC, anime, and other superhero references to talk about your superpowers. So we'll use that as the basis to translate into everyday skills and abilities that we have. The objective in this chapter is to learn how to describe your personal skills, talents, and hobbies using pop culture heroes and fun comparisons. So we have a warm-up question, 3 as always. The first warm-up question is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? So here we have a question in the form of an if question. So if you have an if question, it's a conditional or a hypothetical. So when we answer the question, we can also use if. We need to change you to an I. If I could have any superpower, so you'll see that the majority of this question is repeated. If I could have any superpower, if I could have any superpower, and we'll use the comma as well. We'll borrow the comma from here. What would it be is for the question form. We change that to it would be. Okay? So we're using these 3 words. We're not using what and we're not using you. The what comes at the end. It would be what? It would be. So a simple way to fill in this part here, we'll use different types of superpowers. So we might call it super speed, right? Super strength, super intelligence. So we can sort of any particular skill or ability, we add the word super in front and it becomes a superpower. So this is a very basic way to answer the question using the grammatical structure that's inside the question for our answer. If you want to use other words, for example, teleportation, we don't need to use super teleportation. Super would be more than normal, or it's more than is usually humanly possible. So Captain America or the Hulk have super strength, which makes them superheroes. Who's your favorite superhero and why? We have a why question and a who question within the same sentence. So who is your? So we can start by changing your to my favorite. Just note again, I'm using the British English here with the U, but in the text it's actually an American or North American English. So my favorite superhero is, because we've got who is, who is, right? My favorite superhero is, and it's asking for a favorite, so you can only pick one, only one here. So let's just say, for example, Thor. We have a comma because my favorite superhero is Thor because he is, we could say strong, or you could say powerful. I don't think you could say intelligent, but he's very brave. right? Lots of qualities that most superheroes have. If you want to just make one point, that's okay. You might want to say he's strong and. So if you want to use 1 and 2, you might want to use he is A, B, comma, and C. So you could use 3 examples of why you like a superhero. Perhaps in the comment to the video here, you might want to practice this sentence. My favorite superhero is... If you want to name more than one hero, perhaps you want to say, my favorite superheroes are... Oh my gosh. My brain is thinking ahead too much. My favorite superheroes are 1 and 2, or you might want to go A, B, and C, if you want to use an Oxford comma before the and. I'll write this again because my handwriting was so poor. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's much better. What should I do? I'll do it down the bottom. I'll do it in a moment. Do you have a hobby or skill that you're really proud of? So this is how we've talked about superheroes in terms of their powers. We've given an example of a hero and why we like them. And now we want to talk about ourselves. So I have a hobby or skill that I'm really proud of. Well, if I talk about myself, it's okay to do that as a practice as well. I'm really proud of my baking skills. So I am, instead of you are, I am really proud of my something skills. Right? So as my example was, baking, you might want to say cooking, you might want to say sewing, might want to say running. Maybe you're really good at running. Right? Skills here is a plural because you have many skills together in a particular hobby or skill set, right? And I'll just, because my handwriting was so poor here, I'll set some space here to write it again. So you might want to use a number, so use a different sentence structure. My 3 favorite, let's say, my 3 favorite superheroes are 1, 2, and 3, right? So I really like Iron Man. I really like Thor. And let's just say Hulk, right? As an example. Thank you very much for watching this. Again, use these sentences, comment below if you want, and then I'll edit and help with feedback in the comments below. Thank you.